Hello YouTubers, hey, hope you're staying warm. Here in Kansas, we're experiencing one of the most snowy, icy Februaries that I can remember in my 63 years of life. So it's been difficult, kind of discouraging. You usually see spring start to peek its head up above the ice this time of year, but we're going to have to wait, it looks like, till March. But as it's February, I want to take a little time today just to hit on a look back at some of Donald Trump's accomplishments in 2018. And I'm going to reference, and I'll include this link in the description box, I'm going to reference an article by realclearpolitics.com. And, you know, there are just so many accomplishments. This man has been absolutely prolific, and without a doubt, a president who is keeping more of his promises than any president I've ever voted for in my lifetime. You know, you might not like the way he does things. You might not like his personality. He's a New Yorker. He's brash. He's, you know, they have a different air, aura about them. You might not like some of those things, but he's getting some things done. And I just wanted to hit on 10 things from this great article. The first one that they list is the Brett Kavanaugh Supreme Court selection. They managed to get through that mess, that whole debacle of false accusations and desperation attempts by the Democrats to keep this man off of the high court, but they didn't get it done. And you know, when Antonin Scalia passed away, could you imagine if we'd had a Hillary presidency, who she would have filled that vacancy with? I shudder to think about it. So that's number one. Number two on their list is confronting China. And you know, finally, we have a president with the chutzpah to confront the Chinese, and soon we'll have a formal agreement. And I think, you know, in his time in the White House going forward, there'll be more adjustments to our relationship with China in regards to trade. Number three is the middle class wage rise, and that is well documented. These are things that can be measured. Finally, Donald Trump has allowed a middle wage increase of wages to eclipse the 3% growth rate, and that's the first time since the Great Recession. He also, number four, orchestrated the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade deal, a modernization of NAFTA. Been a long time since any of that was looked at or anybody went to bat on our behalf with these unfair trade agreements. Number five, ending the Iran nuclear deal. My hat goes off to him for that. You know, I remember the scenes on the news of not mainstream news, but alternative news that showed the pallet of cash that Obama sent over to those Islamic hoodlums. And, you know, enough of that nonsense. He put an end to that. That was a crazy agreement. And, you know, hooray for Donald Trump. Number six on the list is probably my favorite. He moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv. Presidents have given lip service to this for decades. Finally, it took Donald Trump to do it. And, you know, we could get religious here. I try on this channel, try to avoid getting too religious, but, you know, God only recognizes one city in Israel as the eternal capital, and Jerusalem is referred to God's city. God's city. So, fabulous move, Donald Trump. Number seven, he smashed the ISIS caliphate in Syria. and then withdrew our troops from Syria. And it's amazing how these libs who, waffle back and forth and for years wave the white flag, the peace, the party of peace. On that, it's flip-flop. They're the party, they're the war hawks. We needed to get out of that situation, and Donald Trump has done more of that. And again, if we'd have had a Hillary presidency, we'd be in war, we'd be in heated wars all over this globe. She's a walking, talking war hawk. And thank goodness we avoided that. Number 8, increasing minority jobs. In fact, the black joblessness rate that was reached in 2018 is historic. It has never happened before. It's the best it's ever been. And is nearly the same with the Hispanic joblessness rate. All of these bearers of false witness, liars concerning Donald Trump, who call him a racist. Well, he's got a funny way of showing his racist tendencies, doesn't he? He's been the best thing that happened to the black community and the Hispanic community. And that was number 8 on Real Clear Politics list. Number 9 was holding the line with these migrant caravans down in South and Central America. And, this is a growing problem. It will continue to be a part of the wall debate. But that was number 9 on Real Clear Politics list. And number 10, record American oil production. In 2018, the U.S. surpassed Russia and Saudi Arabia as the world's largest oil producer. We are now an oil exporting country. And just tickles my heart to see the United States making use of these God-given resources that we've been blessed with. We are often been called the Saudi Arabia of coal. We've got enough coal to fuel this country for the next 200 years, but we've been blessed with petroleum, oil under the ground, and finally we have a leader who is making the most of these things. He's not a racist. He's not a homophobe. This week, also in the news, we see that Donald Trump's administration is pushing countries around the world to decriminalize homosexuality. Now, I may not approve of homosexuality, but that is proof that he is not a homophobe. We could go on and on. The list could be monstrous. This is just the top 10 according to Real Clear Politics. And as always, I want to thank you for watching my video. If you liked what you heard, give me a like and subscribe. This is the perspective. I come from a conservative perspective, and you will continue to see that on this channel, Media Cure. Thanks again for watching.